I am heading to a new adventure in book selling. If you remember, I mentioned that I was pursuing a lead from a thrift store about purchasing bulk books from them, and I went and visited the store today. Now I have rented a truck, and I am returning to pick up the Gaylord books. Yes, Gaylord. The store gets so many books donated to them, and that they just find or somehow get in their various ways from, be they garage sales or homeowners and estate sales and whatnot, that they end up with too many and they just cannot sell them. They don't have the space on the floor to sell them, so they want someone to come and haul them away every week. They should be supplying this to me going forward. So at any rate, I'm going to pick it up. The books they had on the top were kids books, because they said they had cleaned out their kids book section. I guess that means took out ones that didn't sell, or I don't know what that meant exactly, but the top layer there, and I could only see so many, maybe 100 or so books, they were all kids books. Don't know what is underneath those, but they do get them from all over the place because it is a thrift store. I don't know yet what's in there, guys, so I'm not paying that much money for them. So I'm paying $80 for the Gaylord, but I figure if even 10% are FBA worthy, then it's definitely going to be worth the time and effort. Because I'm spending the $80 and then I'm spending the gas money to drive down there and renting a truck. As you can hear, because I do not own a truck and I cannot fit a Gaylord into my car. I'll tell you about it afterwards. Through it. About halfway through it, I had to stop because I was just too tired and need to get some sleep. And I haven't done or finished my video for the day, so it's going to be late posting this, as you already know while you're watching this, because it was late. So I've hardly found anything, guys, and I don't know if this is representative of the type of books that they have, but I found maybe 20 or so books out of half the Gaylord. So it's pretty awful, and I'm seeing in there, I can't see the bottom clearly. There's still a good amount of books that I can't see yet that are still covered. So unless those books are pretty good and I start finding some good stuff, this is going to be basically a bust. So just another learning experience. If it ends up being that I hardly get anything out of this Gaylord, and I'm not even, I might not even be able to break even on everything I've spent, from the $80 for the books to renting the truck to the gas and all that stuff, then nothing much I can do about it. The other thing is it's a lot of work because I have to pull all of the books out, put them in other smaller boxes, because I'm just going to donate them in order to get to the books that are worth looking up. The majority of the books are not even worth looking up because they're kids books. They're the kind of kids books that they're just no good for FBA. So I have to keep looking for the actual books that I can look up, which are not that many. And some of the books that I'm finding are much more long tail and not making a lot of profit. So I'm having to settle for some of those books just to try to get, eke a profit, or at least break even on this deal. So I don't know though. I'm not sure if I should keep going and try another batch with them, but just based upon how much work it is and the little return, it's probably not worth it. So that's the tough thing, when you don't know what you're getting, you can put a lot of effort into it and it can be a bust. So I think I'm basically a cherry picker at heart. I don't like to have to deal with all the excess stuff, having to haul it now to Goodwill tomorrow, have them take it off my hands after I've already gone through it, because I only have the truck till 4 p.m. on Tuesday. I only have so much time, so by tomorrow I'm going to need to have gone through the whole thing, and so kind of waste the day, because tomorrow is usually the day that I go sourcing, so I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm going to have to keep going through the Gaylord. So it's a logistical pain in the butt and so far not very profitable. Just found a couple of books that are going to sell for 20 bucks, but most of them are more in the $10 to $15 range. I always wanted to do some big Gaylord boxes to find some bulk buys of books, but the books have to be good. You can't get books that are a complete waste of time and just basically I'm just spending my time putting the books to the side and having to donate them. It just doesn't make sense. So I think I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. It's just going well. And I don't mind sourcing because I can cherry pick. So I can just take the books, just pay for the books that I want. And $80 for all those books is great. I mean, I have a pile of books kids books that I was able to get for both of my kids, which is good, but definitely not worth all the effort. We'll see. Fingers crossed that there's some good books at the bottom. You never know. Maybe some good nonfiction books. Maybe a textbook here and there. Maybe not. So I'll try to think positive. I need to get some rest right now. So far, this little box is all the books that I found to potentially sell. This is all being donated. And I still have to go through this, filling up this bag here. So I'm getting down to the better stuff, or at least the non-kid stuff. And I got not too much further to go, so fingers crossed that I find enough to make this worth it. Check it out. I found a school book, 20 bucks. It's not ranked really great, 649,000, but I'll have it be the lowest FBA. So hopefully 18 to 20 bucks, 19.20. Yeah. This is it, guys. 41 books. 41 out of an entire Gaylord is all I found that are worth sending in to FBA. And some of them, it's just eking out a tiny little profit. This here, this far pile here are the best. These two in the middle are the best, right around 20 bucks each. Well, this one's I think a little bit less, maybe 18, but so maybe like $36, $38 between the two of them. This one was pretty good. This one, the prices start around 10 to 12, but then they bump up to 25, and it's a more up-to-date textbook. So we'll see if I can pull more money out of that. If I can get 20 out of that, then this pile could be 60 to 70 bucks. But the rest of it, like these two here, are selling like crazy. But I'm gonna have to sell them for cheap, and they're pretty heavy. So, it's a smorgasbord here, and some of the ranks on some of these are a bit higher. They're gonna take a little bit longer to sell. So between the $80 for the Gaylord, rental of the truck, gas, I'm probably gonna be lucky if I break even. Lucky. And then when you look down here, here's all the books I'm gonna donate that came out of this now empty Gaylord. So either this was just a bad batch of books, as in just happened to be very few profitable books for me, or these are the kind of books that this thrift store is trying to get rid of, i.e. they have someone that is pulling books out that are more valuable, and either they're just putting them on the floor or they are also trying to sell them on Amazon. So I'm gonna have to decide whether I'm gonna try another batch or just cut it short, because it was a lot of work as well. My lower back is hurting having to dig into the Gaylord because it's so tall. Once you get about halfway through, you have to really bend over a lot again and again. It's not for most people, I would say, which is probably why when someone is doing bulk, they have machines to dump it out of the Gaylord. I'll talk to the guy and find out if this is the kind of books that they're going to be giving me, or if they should be having better batches. Because the other thing was that about half of the Gaylord, maybe, well, close to a half, maybe a third, were kids' books or young adult books, so chapter books, and they just are no good. And there were not that many non-fiction books. Most of it was fiction or kids, which is why I only found 41 books. If the whole thing was non-fiction, then I would think I would have a better chance of finding more books and make more profit. But I'm gonna have to rethink it and go from there. But you live and learn. As always, remember, keep booking.